Right, guys, here I am at Hair Jam. I'm lucky and blessed enough to have a moment of her busy time with Suzi from Studio X. Suzi, thank you so much for here. Introduce yourself for us, please.
Thanks, Danny. I don't know how to follow that up. Yeah, I'm Susie, as he said. I'm the owner of the Studio X in Maroubra. We've been there for 8 years now. Have an amazing, very, very beautiful and integral and skillful team. I can't say enough good things about them. I also have the Barber Academy with Gareth Philpott. We run a full-time academy delivering Certificate 3 in barbering every Monday and Tuesday. And yeah, that's a bit about me.
She's been very humble. Suzi is a legend, and I'm very blessed to call her my friend as well. Suzi, we've got some questions here for you today. Okay, so Suzi, mad respect for you, and that's why I've got you on here. You know, love what you do at Studio X. I've been watching your journey for a long time now, and love to see how you actually run your shop and create culture in it. I've got some questions for business owners like yourselves to share their knowledge to people who are potentially thinking about getting into opening their own shop. So first question straight off the bat is, what unexpected challenges did you face when opening your barbershop, and how did you overcome them?
What unexpected
Yeah,
challenges. Oh, I think everything was unexpected, to be honest, getting into business. Tax, GST, all of that stuff. Yeah, it's something that you're like, yeah, I got to pay tax, but you actually don't know how to work it out. Visas, everyone's on different numbers. I think that's the biggest thing, like really understanding your numbers before you get into business, because you can think there's a lot more profit in things than there actually are. And for me, I'm a big believer in doing the right thing. I pay all my tax, I pay all my super. I'm very by the book. So that was probably one of the biggest kind of lessons I've had to learn, making sure I'm putting away enough money every single week. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And out of everyone I've interviewed so far, no one has talked about that. They've all been great responses, but numbers is such a massive thing, and it can actually really catch you out.
That'll make you or break you,
Yeah.
won't it?
Especially when we're talking putting away taxes and things like that for super. So I know that you're in Maroubra. Tell me, how did you choose, and you moved. I know you're in Maroubra originally as well.
Yeah.
So in terms of your location, I've been there, beautiful space, but tell me, how did you choose? What were you looking for, or what would you look for in a shop?
Yeah, so I started just in a small space down a side alley. There was nothing there, no like foot traffic, anything like that. So I took a big gamble on that shop. But when I moved into this one, I suppose the biggest thing I looked for was light. I wanted something really bright, big, open, and a bit more of a project. I wanted to kind of just do everything myself. I put the floors in there myself. I put like everything to the air conditioning. But for me, that's what I was looking for. But nowadays, I feel like with Instagram is like your shop front. I don't think it really matters as much as it used to about being on the busiest street or, being seen by everybody, because if your services are good enough and you're doing a great job of your marketing, people will find you. There's people working from their garages, there's people working from apartments, and they're booked out.
Yeah.
So nowadays, I don't think it is as important. Obviously, it helps, especially if you're going to be a walk-in barbershop, to be in a busy area. You got a cafe beside you or a bus stop. Fantastic. They were all things that we used to look for. But yeah, nowadays, I just feel like get your Instagram on point and you should be good.
So leading into that, great advice there. But that's built off a brand, okay? So how would you describe or suggest someone to build a strong brand and then get loyal clientele from that?
I'll probably go a little bit woo-woo with this, but I guess everyone talks about being their authentic self. But it is so true. And when I learned this, I felt like it just changed the game. So instead of just trying to pretend to be someone that you're not, just be the person. Dig deep. Like, there's no better way to prove something than to actually just know it. So I was humble enough to go back and say, okay, these are all the areas that I need to improve on. This is what I want to get better at, whether that's my cutting skills, whether that's business, whether that's social media. So first and foremost is like, get your foundations right and then post it. Tell people about your stuff. People don't know that you're a barber. They don't, and people's perception of you is what you tell them it is. So if you get on there and tell them that you're the best in the area, that you love your job, that you care about what you're doing, people will respect that, and then you'll never work another day in your life because you'll start attracting like. It's like for like, that energy that you put out there, you'll start attracting authentic people. And then from there, that organically grows because you don't have to put on a mask and pretend to be someone that you're not. I get very fucking weird, Danny. Like, genuinely, I'm a weirdo. I have like the best laugh with my clients and everyone's like, oh, Susie's on another one. I'm literally in a corner, like just laughing my head off when I'm cutting someone's hair. I don't even know what I've done with their haircut sometimes, but they walk out the shop and I'm like, did I even fucking cut the top of that? I can't remember. We've been laughing that much. But to be honest, that's what they're coming to me for. They're coming to have the crack with me. And like, it helps that I am so funny as well, you know?
Yeah. Cracking jokes. No, I would totally agree with that, because I would say that, you know, the haircut has to be important. The haircut has to be important, but it's the relationship with them. And I see it all the time, even in our shop. It's like, you know, you could be in my chair and we may not connect, but I could give you, you know, a certain type of haircut, but you could be in the next chair laughing, having a good time, you know. Maybe even the standard isn't what it is over here, but they'll be going back to that guy or girl because of the connection and the laugh they've had.
Can I just add to that? Like, I think people forget, you know, I think recently there's been this narrative that we are the hair god and we know everything, and this person just sits in our chair and we are supposed to tell them what to get with their haircut. And I'm like, when did that change? That is a human being that has chosen your shop to come into. So first of all, like, I appreciate that they have come in. Yes, I'm a professional, and yes, I can make suggestions and I know what's going to suit that person best. So that is my job, to recommend things. But if that person doesn't want that, that's completely fine. I want to give a good service. When that person sits in my chair, I want to make sure that they're leaving feeling $1 million. Whether that is me giving them the haircut that they've asked for, or whether I'm giving them the haircut that I think is going to suit them best. You need to collaborate and meet in the middle somewhere. Like, when did it become about us and not about them?
Yeah, it's all about them. It's so good. That's so good.
It is all about our client in the end of the day. They are the ones that are keeping our shop open. And I am all for, like, choosing, setting boundaries, having clients that you want, not saying yes to everybody. That's completely fine. But again, when you are authentic and you're not trying to be someone that you're not, you won't have bad clients. You'll have amazing clients that value you.
Yeah. Love it, man. So good. And I think that's definitely one thing we always need to remember, particularly in this day, in this industry right now, where it's all about social media and it's all about self-promotion. We're there. The only reason we're in a job is to service the guys that are in the chair, and we need to, like, look after them because they're the ones that pay our bills. Okay, the $1 million question is what, and I've got to say, from knowing Suzi and watching her journey, from the outside, it looks amazing and it looks like you're all over it. But I think it's something that we all do struggle with. What is the best way to recruit and retain skilled barbers? Do we even know the answer to this? Like,
well, I'm fortunate enough, I guess, to have like a team for years. A lot of my guys have been with me long term, and I don't know, maybe again it's because I'm just so super funny and like good to be around.
Yeah, the big tick in the box, yeah.
But no, it's because I look after them. I put team first. So when everyone says the client is always right, I'm like, no, my team is always right. We are all on the same level. Like, nothing is below me. If I'm not going to do it myself, I won't expect my team to do it. And I think they respect that. They understand that. We're all in the trenches together. And I just want to inspire my team. Like, I do this work on myself. I do a lot of personal development, and they can see that I am just trying to get better. And I'm not trying to pretend that I am better than anybody else. I am like, I am on this journey. Come with me. Let's do this shit together. Yeah. I think that is huge, like putting the team first. And I guess, being flexible. That's another one. I think we can all get so caught in our ways, like of what we're used to doing. No, this is how I pay people. No, you have to do this before you get this. Or like, no one takes a Saturday off. It's not like that anymore. Like, these are human beings. So what I try and remind myself all the time about is, what advice would I give to my sister if she was working for someone like this? Or if my sister had, these rules or regulations that she had to follow, what advice would I give to her? So I think when you can really put yourself in their shoes and say, what would actually be the best advice that I would give them if they were dealing with a boss like me? And then you can see it in different perspectives. And I think just being fair, and obviously we're in business to make money. This is what we're doing. But so are all of us. So I guess when you're transparent and you're just real and honest and say, look, guys, this is what I need to cover X, Y, and Z. And like, let's get this fucking money together. Let's like have fun together. We do a lot of stuff outside of work. Like, everyone knows us for being so close and having such like a great family atmosphere. But that's because we learn together, we grow together, we work together, we laugh together,
Yeah. And like, from knowing you and your team, great bunch of lads and girls. So well done on that, Suzi. You're doing such a good job. Last one, what's one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
That's an easy one. I would have invested a lot more in my education before I had kids. And like, I love my kids obviously to death. But it is more difficult to do things when you have kids, especially like have your own personal time. So I think about that a lot. I wish instead of buying the nice watch or buying the nice bag, that I invested that into my education when I had the time. My God, if someone had said that to me when I was like in my 20s, I feel like just put all that money in your 20s into your education, because again, it goes back to, I love talking about Stephen Bartlett, but that 5 buckets analogy like always stands out to me. Like, your first bucket is your knowledge, and every other bucket you fill from there is life. But that first bucket, you just keep pumping that knowledge bucket, and that'll spill into everything else, into your skills, into your resources, into your reputation, into everything else. So I think that is probably the biggest piece of advice I would give my younger self.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it, Suzi. Suzi, that was a pleasure. You're a superstar.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Guys, check out Suzi at Studio X, or her personal account at Suzi
_the Studio X.
That's right. Okay. Legend, thank you very much for your
No
time,
worries.
Suzi.
Cheers.
Peace. Suzi, that was mad. You're a legend.